on this slide, what you see are the various phases of startup, right? First, it's the founder would be on the concept stage. Basically, at this phase, you have some high-level ideas, and you are, looking to create more ideas to kind of solve that problem. So earlier, without using AI, let's say it was 3 months. Now, with the use of AI, maybe it's going to be brought down to 3 weeks. Whatever it is for your business, ensure that you measure that, and that's going to be your, effective use of AI. That's going to essentially help you go to market a lot faster, and that is definitely going to add to your competitive advantage. Hello everybody. Okay, now this is better. So first and foremost, I'm extremely happy to be here, and thank you for that lovely introduction. So I'll just get started with my topic. So I'll be talking on transforming startup with AI from vision to impact. So just to kind of give you a rundown of how I have kind of structured the presentation. First, I'll cover during the startup journey across the various phases, where all can you leverage AI to create competitive advantage. Then I'll talk about some real-world examples. I'll talk about some Indian startup and some big companies who have really capitalized on the Gen AI evolution. And then I'll cover if you are looking to kickstart your AI transformation, I'll cover some of the best practices and some of the key metrics for success that you should consider. And towards the end, I guess we'll part the Q&A towards the end of today's session. So on this slide, what you see are the various phases of startup, right? First, it's the founder would be on the concept stage. Basically, at this phase, you have some high-level ideas, and you are, looking to create more ideas to kind of solve that problem. So at this phase, you'd be doing market research, or as well as creating prototypes, so that your ideas become more concrete. So at this phase, there is no product, nothing, and in terms of funding, you are probably just self-funding. So at this phase, the founders can definitely leverage Gen AI tools like, again, in the market currently, given we are all 1.5 years into the Gen AI revolution, there are hundreds of tools, but my recommendation is when you are starting off as a founder, my recommendation would be to, use tools like ChatGPT, custom GPTs, or alternative to ChatGPT would be Cloud. And for Figma, doing prototype, you can leverage Figma. The reason I'm kind of calling out these applications, these are well known, and from cost standpoint, very reasonable. Literally, they have all of these tools as a free version. So on the exploration phase, basically at the concept phase, you can leverage AI to have more innovative ideas in a most cost-effective manner. Then comes the next phase, which is validation phase or the pre-seed phase. At this stage also, everything is typically self-funded, or maybe at the max, you're pitching your idea to your friends, family, or you're looking for a government grant. So at this phase, typically startup founders, they look for more feedback, more detailed feedback. So they do a lot of feedback analysis, they do competitive analysis, as well as once they kind of figure where they stand in terms of their USP, then the next phase is they start writing proposals so that they can get some paying customers. So be it feedback analysis, competitive analysis, or proposal writing, for all of these main activities, again, startup founders can leverage Gen AI to their benefits. Again, the tools that I mentioned are not finite list. There are innumerable tools, but my recommendation is, again, like always, start with the easy one, and which doesn't cost too much. So the ones that I have mentioned are ChatGPT, Custom GPT, the GPT marketplace. You'll find tons of helpful GPTs there. And alternative to ChatGPT would be Cloud. So you don't need to use both. Like any one should suffice. So once you move on to the next phase of your startup journey, that is, once you have an idea, you've got some level of validation. So at this point in time, you would be actually looking for funding in terms of either seed funding, angel seeds, seed venture capitalists, or crowdfunding. So at this point in time, you would have to start developing your product. So in the build phase, typically, as I said, you would have to start building your first version or the MVP. So you would need to actually write codes. You would have to have final designs, and at this phase, you would also have few paying customers, so you would also have to think about customer support. So for all of these, again, you can leverage Gen AI. So when it comes to product development, you can use GitHub Copilot. For UX, UI design, again, Figma, recently, like about a month back, in the Figma config, they have launched generative AI capabilities, meaning you don't no longer the designers need to start from scratch when it comes to designing the wireframe prototype. All of that can be done using the Figma Gen AI plugins. So you can definitely use Figma for the UX UI piece. There are also other applications. One of the notable one I really like is Galileo AI. That is also very good when it comes to UI UX prototype design. And when it comes to customer support, again, you can leverage any LLM models like ChatGPT, LLM model, or anyone to build your own customer support, basically AI agent. Otherwise, in the market, there are a lot of Gen AI based application available, which would provide customer support. So you can also look at those and see if they have a good subscription model that works for you. The only thing that I would recommend is for doing any of the things that I have called out, be it in the explore phase, validate phase, or build phase, do not rely fully on AI. Use AI to do the basic job, but for each of the tasks, you would need a human expert to ensure that whatever you are aiming for is foolproof. So same applies to customer support as well. Do not ever look for fully automated customer support, especially when you are in the seed phase. Basically, you just have few paying customers. Customer support is very crucial aspect of any product or services company. So ensuring a human layer is very important. Now moving on to the next phase. So let's say you have built your MVP, you have launched. So you have built your MVP, you have few, let's say, paying customers. Next, you would have to launch it to the market, right? So when we are talking about launch, basically, in the early stage, you again look for more funding in terms of crowdfunding, angel funding, or VC funding. And in terms of main activities that as an entrepreneur or as a startup company that you would have to do are, let's say, creating marketing campaign, doing sales forecasting, looking at customer insights, buying behaviors, and formulating various pricing models and all of that. So for doing each of these, you can again leverage Gen AI. There are again tons of tools available in the market. The main ones that I would like to again point out are, you can leverage ChatGPT, you can leverage Custom GPT. For marketing, creatives or marketing content, if you want to go a little extra, you can also look to use Jasper. And for any types of, let's say, visuals that you would have to create, that may include video or images, you can look to look for subscription of tools like Midjourney or Runway ML. Again, there are many. These are my favorites, so I have used all of these. I find all of these to be super effective, and not just in terms of the output, also in terms of cost. Their cost structure is very good, very economical. So I'm going to move on to the next phase. So once you have launched your product into the market and you have done that a couple of times, and let's say at this point in time, you have a lot of paying customers and you would be looking to grow your business further, right? so that you would still continue to look for VC rounds of funding if need be. So at this point in time, like basically you are in a growth mode. You have already found your product market fit. So at this point in time, typically things that are relevant and very important for startup companies are to ensure, especially product companies, you would have to ensure that you are providing personalized experience in the product or in the services. So personalization becomes a very important aspect. The second one would be, as a startup founder, you would have to look to ensure that you are, looking at all aspects of operations and you are making it more efficient. And you are on the growth mode. So scalability is again a big factor or big thing that startup founders really pay a lot of attention at this phase. So again, be it creating personalized experience, improving operational efficiencies, or ensuring that your solution is scalable, you can strategically and very mindfully leverage AI. For example, for creating personalized experience, you can use LLM models. Basically, you can figure out for your relevant product what all areas that you can create an AI-based experience. Those would be your AI use cases for your product. So for that, again, you can use the API version of ChatGPT, basically access to their LLM through an API. Alternatively, Claude also offers similar services. You can also leverage that. And for ensuring that whatever solution, like the AI infrastructure that you have that is scalable, you can look and you can explore solutions like AWS. You can also look at Google Cloud AI. You can also look at Microsoft Azure. So all of them have very good AI infrastructure support, which can scale as your business scales. And their cost, or basically their price plans, are also very competitive. So based on your business needs, you can plan accordingly. So next is, let's say, you have done this for a couple of years and your business is now like, you have reached leadership in your respective field. That is, you have reached maturity. So at this point in time, you are no longer a startup, you are basically a big company. But you would still have to continue to ensure that you're staying competitive, you're a leader in your space. So you typically, at this stage, companies need to do all of that by looking at lot of data. So they would look for advanced analytics. They would have to ensure that they mitigate risk. They're looking at risk from all different angles, and continuous innovation, right? So that's no-brainer there. Again, to do all of that, definitely leverage AI to your benefit. So this is again bird eye view in terms of how a startup really kind of operates, and from a startup it becomes a very mature company. It doesn't happen overnight, it takes time. But what I try to kind of showcase here is at each of the phases you can leverage AI to your benefit to create, innovate faster, create a long-term competitive advantage, and do all of that in a very cost-effective manner. So I know a lot of information, so I'm going to pause and I'm going to move on to the next slide. Now I'd like to talk about some of the successful startups, right, who have really used Gen AI to their advantage. Again, by no means this is a finite list, or this is not in any order. This is some of the startups that caught my attention. Hence I'm talking about them. So the first one on the list is GoCodio. So this is an Indian startup company. They have a Gen AI agent. What this Gen AI agent can do is, it can do software development testing for anybody, like any other software companies. So it can do integration testing, unit testing, regression testing, penetration testing, and it can seamlessly integrate with any developer workflow. So this is a startup. They have just started like little over 1 year, and within such a short span of time, they have already helped more than 16,000 developers across 150 companies globally to reduce post-production defects and improve software reliability. The next one of my favorite is Kishan AI. So this is a company who leverages Gen AI to detect crop disease early on. Not just that, also provide weather-related information to farmers in their local languages. So think about it, like they have really solved a true problem for a wider audience in India. So essentially, they would be providing or they are providing crucial agricultural advices to thousands of Indian farmers every day, helping them to be more productive and resilient against climate changes, and that too in their local language. So they have solved multiple problems in one go. The last one on the list is Invid. I'm pretty sure many of you have used it. So this is a tool which allows you to create videos, right? So they have leveraged Gen AI and now they have made the video creation process automated. Meaning you just have to write a script and it will automatically create a video for you. But by no means I'm suggesting you take that and use it as is. Of course, you as a human, you would have to add your unique perspective to that to make it more engaging and appealing to the end users. But all in all, they have really improved, basically they have really streamlined the process of video editing and video creation process. And in last few quarters, they have added more than 8 lakh subscribers to their user base across 150 countries, and they have really also added significant revenue to their pie. So these are some Indian companies who have really made good use of Gen AI. Now let's look at some global players. So we have Nike on the first one on the list is Nike. So Nike uses AI not recently. They have been using AI for a very long time. So they use AI for personalized shopping experience and virtual try-ons to enhance customer engagement and loyalty. So basically they have a Nike Feet app which uses computer vision and machine learning to kind of help the user find the right size for them, and they have combined that with virtual try-on experience. So just imagine sitting at your home, you can find the right size which is right for you, and you can, through their virtual try-on experiences, you can actually try it from the comfort of your home. So this is one company who have really created a unique and engaging customer experience using AI. Next one on the list is Netflix. I'm pretty sure majority of us here use Netflix. So Netflix uses AI-powered recommendations. So every time we log on to Netflix, the list of recommended series, movies that I would see versus you would see would be different. So they have achieved this through use of AI. So in turn, how does it help them? It helps them to increase the user retention and user engagement. The third one on the list is Airbnb. So Airbnb is one company who have used AI almost on all, at multiple levels. So they use AI to personalize search results and recommendations. Not just that, they also do dynamic pricing, all of which improve their booking rates. The next one on the list is an AI company only, but they also use AI to accelerate their design, testing of different vehicle components. All of that helps them to reduce the development time and go to market faster. The last one on the list is Amazon. So Amazon is again a company which provide AI managed services to other companies, but over here I have listed for their Amazon site, right? The Amazon commerce application. So they use AI at multiple levels to optimize the product recommendation algorithm. Not just that, for the women fashion segment, they have also added a lot more AI capabilities. They also allow, basically they use AI which recommends the right size for the apparel that you're looking for. Not just that, I'm sure you must have seen that they have also added a review, like a summary of the review. So let's say a product has 20,000 reviews. It's very difficult for a user to kind of scan through 20,000 reviews and understand what majority of the people are saying. So they have kind of solved that problem by providing a summary of the review in a contextual manner for the user. So So all in all, these are just some examples. Again, by no means these are exhaustive and these are not in any order. I just wanted to kind of talk about some of the success story. And also I want to mention that these companies are leaders in their space. None of these are startups. So they are at a point where they have added AI use cases in their product itself. But when it comes to product development, operational excellence, for all of that also they heavily rely or heavily use AI, and they use design thinking methodologies to kind of go about and ideate, basically do that ideation to productization life cycle. So now, moving on, so let's assume, I'm pretty sure many of you here are, either a startup founder or thinking about starting your own company. So you might be wondering, like, when it comes to AI, where should we begin? So my advice would be begin small, like do not go all out with AI. Identify small areas, be it product use cases or operational use cases, and once you identify small areas, explore available tools. And I, in the previous slides, I have mentioned about a couple of very popular and easy to use tools. But definitely do your research, see what makes sense for you in terms of cost and other parameters that might be of importance to you. Next is build a cross-functional team. So for startup, like your initial founding team may be a small team, so you would need to collaborate with industry experts, especially who are in the space of Gen AI, designers. And basically, also you should attend more of this type of events where you can collaborate and learn from your peers from the other startup and understand what are the things that they are doing right, working for them, what are the things not working well for them. So basically, it's not going to be a single team who is going to execute anything. When it comes to Gen AI kind of application, it's not going to be one team who's going to be deploying or managing everything end to end. It's going to be a cross-functional effort. Next and third one is leverage existing AI tools. So don't go and start building your own LLM model on day one. It's not needed. So leverage existing tools. That's going to be cost effective, and that's also going to be meaningful for your business. And stay up to date in terms of what's happening in the tech world. And lastly, for whatever you are starting, to use AI with, measure and continuously improve based on your findings. Now, I'd like to conclude with this slide. So in terms of some of the key metrics that as an AI, not as an AI, as a startup founder that you should keep in your mind when you are using AI. So first and foremost, you should always think about customer satisfaction. So measure the change in customer satisfaction after use of AI in your product development lifecycle. You are definitely going to see an improve because your time to market is going to be faster. There are going to be lesser number of defects. In terms of quality, reliability, all of that is going to increase. So customer satisfaction metric can be one of your North Star metric to kind of see a change in that. The other one, a very important one, is time to market. So by leveraging AI, you can reduce the time it takes from ideation to actual go live, basically product launch, right? So measure the cycle. So earlier, without using AI, let's say it was 3 months. Now, with the use of AI, maybe it's going to be brought down to 3 weeks. Whatever it is for your business, ensure that you measure that, and that's going to be your, effective use of AI. That's going to essentially help you go to market a lot faster, and that is definitely going to add to your competitive advantage. Next is innovation rate. So evaluate the new ideas that have been co-created by using AI, right? So that's going to reflect the AI effectiveness in fostering creativity and innovation within your product team. Next, and very important, and this is a no-brainer again, cost efficiency. So for all of the areas where you're going to use AI, be it product ideation, development, testing, iteration, you are going to save on cost, right? Because we have seen that Gen AI tools cost a lot less. So try to measure the cost, and it's going to ultimately lead to a lower TCO, total cost of ownership. And lastly, also to me, a very important one is employee productivity. So by using AI, what are you ultimately are able to do? You're able to reduce costs, do things faster, and also you would still continue to have the need to have employees, but they would be spending their time on manual, repetitive tasks. Rather, their time would go into making things better, improving things, or thinking out of the box, like things that typically people should have been doing, but because of the manual and repetitive tasks, they get, let's say today, if AI is not there, people are not using AI. Let's say 70% of employees' time goes into creating those, detailed things, which is a lot of the manual steps. So all in all, overall time that employees would be spending, they would be spending on meaningful activities, which would lead to higher satisfaction, and that would result into higher productivity. So these are, according to me, some of the success metrics for startup founders that they should keep in mind when they think about using Gen AI. I'm not recommending you need to measure all. See for your company which all ones make sense. But I would recommend to at least use 2 to 3 of the metrics that I have just talked about. With that, I'm going to end, and thank you so much.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to My Startup TV.